Also did one session on 13th on relational intelligence, and it was amazing. It's always amazing. We do a lot of learning sessions in Toronto chapter, which are attended by only our members, and this was one event where people from all across joined. So, it gets you to feel how it is to present to a wider audience. And so that makes me think as to what can we do that our regular, learning events can really reach that kind of audience. I was pleasantly surprised when some of the participants also remember my last year's presentation, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm seeing you again. And so it was great. It was absolutely great. And Donna, I completely agree with you when you say that, whatever you want to learn better, present on that, because that really, really adds to it. So, yeah.
Totally. Thank you, Kamal. It's really inspiring for me to see other presenters like in doing this session. So maybe next year I will do something as well. So, um, who else? Like any participants that would like to share your experience? Like it doesn't have to be just our Toronto chapter events. It could be others that if something really interesting you'd like to share, um, that would be wonderful.
Amy, I can add some more.
Yeah.
So I attended a couple of sessions, but I attended one of the session, like I started with Suzanne's session. And the beauty of, I think, ICW is just like what Donna said, just go, explore, try. And like Sangeeta said, right, this is not a space where we judge, or it's just how different presenters come up with different approaches. And it's just going with that curiosity this whole week has been such a phenomenal experience. Like Suzanne, for example, had absolutely no slides. Okay, it was just talking and everybody just spoke. She asked questions and people just, and it was about seasons. It was a very deep session, but absolutely not a single slide. So what I'm, just sharing here as what I'm seeing is so many different structures and approaches and facilitation styles, but everything is so unique. And I think learning for both the presenter as well as the members joining, right? Yeah. So,
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And Deborah. Hi, Deborah. I think you're not on mute, but maybe it's not picking up the mic that you're using. Can you try and see and switch the mic input? All right. Maybe she's gonna try again. Yeah. She coming back in, come on. Okay, so maybe we'll come back to Deborah later. Who else would like to share? Hmm. Are we being shy today? Well, let me ask you, like, if there's anything that you wish that there were the sessions and you didn't find any during this week offerings and topics, things that you wish that could be there and it's not, anyone? No? Okay, calling it once, twice.
I
Gonna
don't,
move my slide
I,
down.
it's
Hi,
Barb.
Barb.
I don't have any that I would have added. I just wish I was more accessible and available to attend the ones that are on the slide. So it sounds like many of the sessions were well received and there were great discussions, and that's what ICW Week is all about, and coaches getting together. So glad to hear that there was a good turnout for many of the sessions and that the presenters enjoyed it just as much as the participants.
Wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Yes, there are really great turnouts for most of the sessions, and also we expecting the next to tomorrow's sessions, the three sessions as well, is going to be amazing. So if you have the time and can join, then definitely can sign up for that. And all right,
Deborah
so
is back.
oh, hi, Deborah. Would you like to try unmute? I'm not seeing her yet on the screen.
There, unmute. I'm on a different device. Is this working?
Yes, the sound is working. Perfect.
Okay, great. I find that what I crave is to be in touch with the public, to educate them about coaching. And a lot of the sessions, or it seems most of the sessions that I've seen in the past about International Coaching Week, is that it seems to be coaches teaching coaches. So that wasn't really so interesting to me. So I was really excited this year when I saw the pro bono opportunity, because that used to be how I would get my clients. Was I would go to a conference and I would set up in a corner and I'd say, anybody who wants coaching, I will coach you, and just let people experience coaching so that they knew what it was. And of course, I'm still isolating from COVID because I'm at risk. And even if I went to a conference, I'd be wearing a mask, it seems kind of icky for coaching. So this, any chance to do pro bono online is great. So I had one pro bono client during International Coaching Week, and she was surprised at what the session was, and I was surprised that she was surprised. So I don't know how she came to me. I was just told, here's somebody who wants to book with you, and we're able to do some really meaningful work, and she was really thankful, and that made me happy.
Oh, that's so good to hear, Deborah. Thank you so much for sharing that. It absolutely it's a really a joyful way, like when you have a match that works and the person that you coach really felt that it was helpful in helping the person to gain, whether it's clarity, whether it's to get some goals met. And so that's wonderful to hear that you were able to have an enjoyable pro bono session as well. Well,
It
definitely
worked
was
really well. It worked well.
yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, it's really good segue for me to go into our next celebration, which is the pro bono events that we have added. And this year, I think it's more, we calling it out for coaches to celebrate coaching by volunteering the time in a more coordinated way. So we asked our coaches to sign up. We promote that on LinkedIn to ask the people that are interested and wanted to get coaching to sign up. So then we match them. We had really overwhelming support from all around the NL chapter. So we had 81 coaches who signed up, who wanted to match for pro bono coaching. And we had 92 people that signed up to be coached. And just through the short duration of time that we promoted on LinkedIn and newsletter, I think that's one thing that we learned. While there is the needs that people want to get coaching, and also the coaches wanted to share the knowledge and then providing the time to serve the community as well with the pro bono coachings, getting the hours as well for the credential. And so it's really a win-win. So far, what we saw was that we got the feedback from coaches that there were 40 hours in total of pro bono coachings have been delivered. But we know there are more that is still being scheduled because like we started later in April and get that whole process going. And to find the right time for the coach and the coachee sometimes is beyond this week, and which is okay. So we love that we are continuing seeing some of them coming in. And really a big thank you for you all who participated to volunteer your time. And also a great help from I4PL to promote that, to get people from their organization also who are interested in getting coaching. So thank you. So through some of those feedback, we also learned that there's also room for improvement. So which means that this is not perfect, and we're just trying this out this year. And thank you for all your support. But I think there is room for improvement in terms of how to we set up the expectation for coaches, and especially the ones that are not familiar with coaching, to guide them better, to know how to notify coaches when they need to change their schedule or they cannot show up because of circumstances. So then we don't have to go through those disappointment like with some of the coaches that experience, unfortunately. But at the same time, we have the majority had great great sessions, and we're going to see some of these feedback that we got. These are testaments that the coaches have done such an amazing job of coaching these individuals, and people are very thankful. There are many of those like thank you that they had really great experience with coaching and they wanted to do more. That's just all what we wanted to have, and really is to help us to promote coaching and how this can really help people. The impact is way beyond, as we all know, the one person that you coach. So congratulations again to all the coaches and participants to this initiative, this pro bono initiative. And I would love to hear from you. And we heard from Deborah earlier and others. And if you had anything that stood out for you in this experience through this 2 week of pro bono coachings, whether you've done it directly as promoting yourself on to help others, or that is through our matching the program that we have provided through this coaching pro bono coaching initiative and with the ICF Toronto chapter. Just want to hear from you, like what have you learned, and what is as good and working for you as well.
Yeah, I also want to thank everyone. You know, when we started thinking about the pro bono coaching as part of ICW, we were thinking, where are we going to find these clients, right? That was the first question that all of us had in our minds. And we said, okay, let's put this out there and then we will see. So the number that we roughly had in our mind was about 50 coaches and say 50 clients, right? That's where we started. But then when we put this out there and we started seeing traction, and we landed up with 92 clients signing up, that was like a big, something that's showing us. And most of these clients who signed up have never got coaching before. So we saw that, they were curious, they were engaging, they were also, of course, there are clients who didn't turn up, but there were quite a lot of clients who are even now in touch with the coaches saying, okay, we couldn't finish it by this time, but let's use the couple of more, weeks to get this done. So what I also want to share here is, this is, I think, what the environment is telling us, right? This is Toronto, and this is what we are hearing from people outside, from different communities, that they are curious about coaching, they want to get coached. So my experience is, this client that I coached has gone back, told his manager that this was very good for him. Now the manager reached out to me saying, hey, can we talk about coaching in our organization? Like Deborah mentioned, this is just that one drop, one seed, right, which we can do. And I'm, so thankful to all of you who shared this in your LinkedIn. All of the extra support that all of you give brought these 92 people here. So thank you again. Thank you so much for making this something phenomenal, I feel.
Great, thank you. And Silk mentioned that on the chat as well. If this pro bono coaching initiative can continue, it's not just for the ICW week. And definitely, for sure, we want to think about how we can bring this to life and outside of the coaching week, and to help more people and also our coaches to get these hours as well. Great point. Thank you. Yes, Paula.
I just wanted to say it was a great experience. It was my first time doing the pro bono coaching, like through the ICW week. And I wanted to just highlight, I think, the way that the message that you guys created to go out there and talking about the level of uncertainty that is out there that people are experiencing. I think that was such a wonderful, really very responsive thing to do given the environment that we're in. So I think, whoever came up with that approach, I think it was a great segue into making people kind of sit down and think about their own situation and whatever that looked like for them and whatever levels of uncertainty they were feeling. So I thought that was a really great way to anchor as well an introduction to that. So it's a great job.
Love that. And that's so kudos to Abby, who first said, hey, like this is what we can do more of this year. and with her vision, and then we're just saying, no, like we totally agree. Yes, this is the time that we have to step up and help our community. So thank you for recognizing that, Hala.
Thank you so much, Paula. And it's there's one vision and there's so much work behind the scenes that happen just to get that, matching done and messages out. So, but we were like, yes, we want to do this, right? Like we really want to see how this pans out. So, thank you so much for acknowledging that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Anne.
Hi, thank you for all of the work that you're all doing. The board is doing such a great job. Thank you for your efforts. Believe me, it does not go unnoticed. I just wanted to speak to the potential of ongoing. So we have our dear friend Barb who's here, and Barb, you can speak to this. I don't even know how many years ago. It was before the pandemic, but the brainchild of Barb was this Coach Connect. And that was a pro bono opportunity for some of us to dip our toe into that. And I can't stress enough where you have an opportunity to offer this pro bono opportunity, jump in and do it because it is incredibly rewarding. I didn't know that you had this slide up. The woman that I was blessed to work with in that one session was just extraordinary. And I have my second one coming up next week. But Barb's initiative, that Coach Connect, was just an extraordinary opportunity. So I don't know if it's still going. If not, I wonder if that could be resurrected. And if so, it will give anyone who's interested in pro bono coaching an opportunity to do some incredible work. I can't recommend it enough, to be honest with you. So, Barb, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to.
No problem.
Would you
I
expect anything less from me by this point? No. Is it still, or maybe you want to share what that is, just so that people do know if it's still around, that they could jump into that.
I don't think it is right now. Abby, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But Coach Connect was about ICF Toronto chapter reaching out to different organizations, many mostly not-for-profit organizations, but there were some that were not-for-profit organizations, and they were private organizations. And we would put on our website what the organization stood for, how the number of participants that were interested from the organizations, and then also reached out to our community to see who was interested in just in participating in sort of any opportunity with pro bono coaching. And what was exciting about it is that one of the things that was exciting is that it extended over a period of time. I think some of them were like 10 sessions or 12 sessions or like 3 months, and
Yes.
some were longer. And the Coach Connect, the initial one was with Up with Women. I think that was one of the ones that was a huge success and is still going on really strong today. I don't know how many people in our chapter now are volunteers with Up with Women, but I'm sure it's just grown exponentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
thank you.
individual that I was paired with was through Bethel Hospice,
Right.
and I worked with that. I was going to say young man. He's in his 80s. Um,
Young man in his 80s.
young man in his 80s. Yep. Probably about 8 years, because it was a relationship that he found to be incredibly beneficial, and I had zero problem in connecting and supporting. He was just a wonderful human being. So, yeah, the relationships that are created are just extraordinary through these opportunities. So, I would encourage anybody who has time, and it really doesn't take a lot of time, once a month, 1 hour a month. It's just the most wonderful, fulfilling, rewarding experience. You get
Yeah.
more back than, well, I'll speak for myself. I gain more, I feel, than what I put into it.
Right. I totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing that, and also Barb. And yes, I can say that the Coach Connect will continue. We are just going through this ICW week that with a lot of activities going on. So that is just going to pick it up soon. And we're going to reach out to more organizations and see how we can partner together. And you're right, with the Uplift Women, that is ongoing, and there are many coaches as well. And I totally agree with you, Anne, that I got involved starting last year with Uplift Women. That's so fulfilling, and that is something I definitely recommend anyone to share the time in, which I know many coaches are doing that. So we'll have more to share about the Coach Connect, like how we're going to involve more coaches and get these set up with pro bono coaching hours as well. So stay tuned. That's what
But
I would
Amy,
say.
I'll add to what, I mean, Barb asked the question, right? We did have, Barb, and I think that was one of the best initiatives, thanks to you. So we did have 3 organizations that we worked with in the last 2 years. And I think for one organization, it was almost 50 or 60 coaches who volunteered for that. And then there was 2 other smaller ones that we did. We, in fact, did a team coaching session, and I was part of that. There was a lot of hours that we spent on this organization. And, a good success story from there is this team, which, initially was struggling just to have this good team dynamics. Once we did this, went through a big change. And because the team was now, sufficiently resourceful enough within themselves, they're managing the change process without a change management. So that's, I think, the impact of what we're all doing and the work that we're putting together. So there is a lot coming. And we have one of our biggest strategic goals for this year is more outreach, right? More coach connects and more opportunities for coaches here. And this is one example. And we have 3 directors, and Amy is one of them. We have Leo and we have Kelly. So 3 of them going in 3 directions to get more and more for us. So keep looking for all of these opportunities that coming your way.
Thank you. Thanks, Evie, for adding on that, and thanks, Barb and Anne, for contributing to our conversation. And Daisy, you have your hands up.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to add to what Anne said regarding Barb and the Coach Connect. I was introduced to it in, I think I did it 2 years, 2021 and 2022. And I was a part of the Bethel Hospice one, which is almost a stone's throw from where I live. And then there was another organization in Etobicoke. I don't remember the name of the organization, but those are the 2 organizations that I worked with at that time. And then I also worked with ICTC, which is another nonprofit newcomer that caters to newcomers. So it has really been a great program, and I really thank Barb for that, because that was part of I think that was the first time that I really got active in ICF Toronto. This year, because of my schedule, I couldn't do a whole lot in terms of pro bono coaching, although I actually coached a coach yesterday. But I do think it's worth continuing, probably, in terms of, I think in our time we did 6 sessions per individual, I believe. So it could probably be looked at, whether people can afford the 6 hours or even more. But I think it's a great initiative, and we both benefit. Like, as a coach, I benefited tremendously from participating, and just the feedback from the coachees were great as well. So I just wanted to add that part.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Daisy.
Yeah, Daisy,
Uh,
thanks for sharing your experiences with the organizations. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Mina Kayla Gambier, because Mina was really the one
Yes.
who started this whole thing. And then she and I co-led the Coach Connect process. So it takes teamwork, and we couldn't do it without the coaches who volunteered to participate in those programs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Deborah, is that a new hand that you have up there?
Yes, just a quick point, which is just to point out the difference between what we're doing during International Coaching Week, which is a one-off, like a demo, and these programs, which are more developing a relationship with the person. And I'm wondering if there's room for both, because, if it was known that ICF once a month had a drop-in where you could come and try out a coach, maybe you can't come and try out Deborah 3 times in a row. That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, if you want to come back and try out Barb next time or whoever's there, I just want to reach as many people as I can and dispel the myths of what coaching is, because people have these strange ideas about it. And when they see what it is, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And that's what I would love to help with.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that idea. And it would definitely look into how we're going to bring that to life and so to as many coaches can participate as possible.
Cool. I'll
Kamal.
keep my eye out for it. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Kamal.
I just wanted to bring our attention to how incredible this conversation in this space is. I am loving that we are not just celebrating coaching and coaches, but also like our fellow colleagues, the history and the potential both together as to, and this is something which I think, can really make a chapter really, really amazing, is recognizing, remembering everybody who's contributed to build it and bring it to where we are. And so thank you everybody for giving a call out and a shout out to everybody else. I'm just enjoying this session so much.
I love that. Thank you
And
so
the
much for
ideas
that.
that are flowing. It's amazing.
For sure. Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, let's move on to our next segment of celebration and more to come. And this one, we wanted to talk about the initiatives with the hubs. So now we have like 6 hubs around in GTA, and Donna is the lead of the hubs, and there are the different hubs leads as well. I think a couple of them are here. So I'd like to pass the platform to Donna to start and maybe with the other hub leads and share with us some of those successes. And I know that they have initiatives also through this few weeks to celebrate the ICW week as well. And I want to hear from them, and anybody who have participated at the hubs would definitely agree that it's amazing to be in person with all the coaches and their guests as well. So I'll pass it over to you, Donna.
Okay, hi. I noticed Daisy's hands up. Do you want to add anything, Daisy, before I start?
I
Okay.
think that might be the hand from before, Donna.
Okay. Well, thank you. So the hubs came out of when Jennifer was the membership director and I was on her committee. And this is about 2.5 years ago. And so she championed it and brought it to the board. And now we have, and this actually isn't 100% correct, this diagram. We do have the New Market Aurora one. That was one of the first ones. Burlington was one of the first ones, but it hasn't carried on because we don't have a leader or co-leaders. So please, I know Deborah is saying we don't have, the online one isn't here. So that's a new addition. So we've got New Market Aurora, that's myself and Arlene. Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, Guelph, et cetera, is Julie and Emily, and I don't think they're here. Silke says she can't see any diagram. Don't you see the image, Silke? Yeah, there isn't one for the online hub. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So then Silke and Paula are leading the North York Hub, and that's fairly new. I think they've only had a couple of meetings, right? And Etobicoke is, help me get this right, this is Kamal, I believe, is that right? And Mississauga is,
Because Shelley and Tony, Donna.
yeah, and Tony. And Mississauga is,
Me.
remind me. Okay, come on. And then we have the online hub. And okay, I don't know Jim. Jim is asking where would I go for London? We kind of are not opening up new hubs right now, so probably you'd want to join the online hub unless you want to drive to Kitchener or something for now. We're just getting a sense of this. There is a cost to the chapter, and that's why we're limiting it. So there is a small budget available for each of the hub meetings, and the hubs meet approximately every 2 months. The online hub meets every month, and they're listed under events on the ICF Toronto um, website. Okay. So anyways, if you, I don't see my contact information here. I'll just put it up. If you have any questions, you can contact me. Okay. Now we do have, I think half the people here are involved in hubs. Alana, do you want to say something now or about hubs?
I had a question. I thought I just heard you say the Burlington hub is kind of not happening anymore.
That's right. We need a leader for that one. It's a hub that has been approved.
I volunteer because I'm in Halton region and we're like the left out region. So Burlington is part of Halton along
That would
with
be wonderful. So there's my email address. Just email me and I'll help you get set up because it's one that's already approved. There's also a downtown Toronto hub that's been approved and it's not quite off the ground yet. I think they're going to start after the summer. Okay. So basically the format is up to the leaders, where you have it, what your topic is. What we found by starting these up is people just wanted to talk to each other because it was just post COVID, right? So people just wanted to meet in person, talk, network. Now after, I'm just speaking about our hub, the Newmarket Aurora one. Now we're getting more into topics, having speakers, and I want to give a moment for Tony and Silke to speak, but I'll just mention that our most recent meeting, we many of the hubs set up a pre-ICW meeting where we invited some special guests and demonstrated coaching and stuff like that. In our recent meeting, we had a woman named Ellen. I have to look up her name. Campbell. And you may know her. She's just a powerhouse. She started the volunteer organization called Abuse Hurts, and it's Arlene. Arlene is my co-leader for the hub. She couldn't make it tonight, and Ellen offered to be the coachee, and we went around the room. We didn't have very many people attend the meeting, unfortunately, but we each took turns coaching her, and we just jumped in kind of randomly. And I want to read you her feedback. She said, "Thank you so much for your kind words." She was just truly, truly inspirational. We were all just, wow. I was very impressed with the exercise. So us coaching her, each of us taking turns coaching her, she said before she attended, she felt she didn't need a coach, but she got a lot out of it. The exercise proved me wrong, and I felt the experience was very positive. Thank you all who have participated, and you will be my first guests in her new venture that we coached her around. So what happened, we're not supposed to share the details, but she had this sort of dream in the back of her mind, and she's going to make it a reality. And we helped to solidify it for her. So that was super exciting. And if you get a chance to look at her up, she's just doing wonderful things in the community. So thank you for the opportunity to speak. Should I ask for Tony now? Or I know Silke has to leave. Maybe she could speak first. Silke, do you want to?
Sure. And I love the idea of tag team coaching someone that way, Donna. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, so I am doing both the online hub, hosting that, along with Tony as my leader and conspirator. And we really love it. It's a chance for us to connect. Both that and the North York hub, we kind of just like to leave it casual. So we invite people on. We usually do some sort of attunement at the beginning, and then it's sort of a whatever everybody wants to talk about. So what did you come there for, and how can we support each other? With the in-person, I find it's more it's that connection in person of like-minded people. And I think that's what's so amazing about the hub meetings is I think anyone can say on their journey to becoming a coach, they sort of stripped away a lot of relationships that were not serving them and started living towards more of their values. And I find a lot of coaches, we share a lot of the same values. So it's a really interesting chance to connect with people who think in many of the same ways as each other. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've been to the Etobicoke Hub as well, and also a great group of people. And yeah, we continue to make new relationships, form new connections, and support each other in whatever way, happens to come about in the meetings. Yeah.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you, Silke. She's just volunteered for everything that comes her way. She's awesome. And Tony as well. So Tony, do you have something you want to say to everybody?
Yeah, I do. We've been running the Etobicoke Hub for about a year and a half now. We're really inspired by the Newmarket Aurora Hub. I was working closely with Arlene at the time, and when she told me what they were doing, we thought, wow, wouldn't it be great to have something in Etobicoke? So I know that the original concept was these places were far from Toronto, and it would be nice to have something more local. So I was a little worried, well, is Etobicoke too close to Toronto? How is this going to work? Abby started it. I was glad to volunteer to help out. And yeah, we've been getting really good turnouts because even though we're still close to Toronto, it's a very different format. The informality, the ability to network, the ability to just everybody meet each other, understand what kind of coaching we do. And I know there's been quite a bit of back and forth where, I thought, geez, I could really use help in this coaching field from somebody else. This is not my area of expertise. And I've utilized other coaches to help me, and other coaches have utilized me to help them. So that networking opportunity is great. And like what was said earlier, so we allow that informal time, and we've gone with a central theme that we want to have some really good dialogue every time. And Shelley facilitated just an amazing dialogue at our last meeting. Everybody was just so engaged. It was so rich. It was so deep that we went way over time, but it's cool. We're in a pub. Everybody just hangs around and has another beer, and we're all out. We're all good. So they're going great. We usually meet, like I say, in a pub. We're hoping the next one, we had one outdoors last year. We're going to try again to just have one at Centennial Park or something like that, and just keep it going. The other thing I want to add is we've got a WhatsApp chat that Abby started for our group, and that is fantastic. So we do have our meetings, but there's like constant chatting going on, and a lot of, hey, I could use this. Does anybody know anything about this? Or can anybody help me with this? So the constant dialogue in the chat group is amazing. That's it.
Thank you, Tony. So as you can see, there's lots of energy in these hubs. Each one has a different kind of culture within it, but there's so much exciting stuff going on. So we welcome you, even if you don't live in our area, come and visit us in Newmarket. Come and visit, Tony and Shelley and in Etobicoke. Feel free to move around because you'll get a lot out of it. It's an awesome networking opportunity. So thank you for putting us on the agenda, Abby and Amy.
I just wanted to add one more thing just about the hubs. If may I? Is that okay?
Sure, Paula. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So we've only done a couple so far, Silke and I, and last session we brought some non-coaches, people that, just were, I brought my sister, and Silke brought a friend who's an author as well, and she does some work with. And my sister got into the car at the end of the hub and she said, what am I doing with my life? These people were so inspiring. She's actually thinking about going back to school. She is so blown away by just the stories and just the camaraderie and just the energy that's all she's been talking about since the last hub. So I just wanted to share that because it's very impactful. and she was just so blown away by just everyone.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Paula. I think that's the really the true reason and meaning that we coaches wanted to do our work, right? That the impact that we have, like, and it's not necessarily having a coaching session, like being there, like as your sister did, right? Just watching the other coaches and listening to them, those great stories and what they are capable of, like impacting other lives. That's so inspiring. I totally agree. Thank you so much. And thanks for Donna. Thank you for Sophie and Tony and others that couldn't join us today. I had been to the Aurora Hub one time with Donna and Arlene, and it was just amazing experience. So if anybody had not been able to join any of the hubs, that I totally recommend it to go at least once to see what it's like, and you'll want it to go again. I'll try to make room for my schedule for sure in the coming months to go and to visit a couple others that is in close proximity where I can commute to. But as wonderful work, and thank you so much for everybody and contributing and doing the hubs work and supporting each other. That's amazing. I love this. So this is so great.
Yeah,
And
I also want to just thank everyone, Donna, of course, and all the hub leaders, because this is not, just a get together, right? There is so much goes behind, again, every event that's put out by the hub leaders, and so much of thought that goes in, and all the conversations, of course, like Tony said, we've been part of Etobicoke Hub, and we just feel that, okay, we have somebody, right? Like you can lean into these coaches and you're not alone. Most times in our work as coaches, we are probably just feeling like, okay, I am sitting with my business all alone. I don't have anyone to answer. And these hubs really are spaces where you bring such conversations and talk. And I know first time, Shelly had just finished, her coach training, and she came for the outdoor. We just tried outdoor last year. We said, okay, let's do a potluck. Let's just bring something. And first time we're meeting Shelly, she brought, and now she's leading the hub, alongside Tony. So there is a lot of opportunity. There is so much that we can do in the hubs. We also want to have some of these local communities and businesses come in and watch coaches in real, right? And talk to coaches, and that hub is an opportunity for that. So we would be doing more of that. So keep attending these hub events. Come back to us and tell us how you're experiencing. What are some of the questions you have, or anything that you want to hear in the hubs as well? Donna and the rest of us are always here to support.
absolutely. Thank you so much. And so let's take a look at this now. We wanted to, like, after the three big celebrations of the different branches that we have been doing with ICW, we love to hear from you, from participants, from your presenters, from the hub leads, from everybody, of how your experience been. So I am leaving this QR code for you. Like you can take a screenshot or like do that on your phone. And do that afterwards, and no rush. And just I wanted to send it out here, and also we'll be sending out to our newsletter and our next communication as well. But we would love to hear and what you like most about what you wish to improve for next year, so we can make it richer every year. So thanks in advance for participating in the survey as well. Now, the next thing is that, as I mentioned, there is still more to come, right? So ICW week does not finish until the 18th, and we do have 3 more events that is hosted by the ICF Toronto chapter tomorrow. So watch out for those that if you have the time, that do join those sessions. It's going to be wonderful. And also, to continue to support our coaches who are giving their time and expertise to share with the community. Now, for next week, we also have, too fast. One more slide back. Okay, so next week on the 22nd, we are having a collaboration session with I4PL to celebrate the coaching week. Now, this session is going to bring together the science of the brain and the art of coaching and the power of learning to build real-time resilience in times of uncertainty. As remember at the very beginning that we agreed this is the time where we need to support each other more. So if you have not registered, make sure that you go to our ICF Toronto chapter calendar to register for it and continue to support our coaches and celebrate more success to finish this year's ICW 2025 strong. Any other comments and ideas you'd like to share before I get to the last slide?
Maybe I'll want to invite our members to join this session next week, because while we're partnering with I4PL, we have almost about 100 of their members joining us next week. So the idea is to get coaches and people in organizations. This is one of the many things that we're trying to do, is how do we get them in the same room? So we're going to have breakout rooms where you will get an opportunity to talk to members of I4PL. Of course, it's like, again, another outreach opportunity is how we're looking at this as well. So it would be nice. Most of their members are also, L&D professionals in organizations. So if you are someone who is interested or in that space, this might be a great opportunity to join us. So I think close to 130, 140 registrations we have so far, and 100 of them are from I4PL.
Wow, excellent. Yes, definitely want more of our members to join as well. It's going to be a great session, I guarantee you. This is going to be really interesting to have this collaboration session. So don't miss it. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here and celebrating together. I want to thank all the coaches, the participants, the clients, and guests that who are not able to join us, but they will get to hear and watch the recording. And as we close today's celebration, I wanted you to remember that every coaching conversation you have had and every hour that you have volunteered and every life that you have touched has created such a ripple effect on the transformation that will continue, that goes far beyond the one person or in the rooms. So let's carry this momentum and going forward and continue to inspire and transform lives. The future of coaching in Canada and the world is brighter because of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here with me and with Abby and everybody and contributing to this conversation. I just love that, the energy in the room. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Thank you all. Have a lovely evening and look forward to keep connecting like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Loved it. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Ba, for all your leadership before and showing us the way. Thank you so much.
It's very exciting, all the the involvement that we've had as a chapter in ICW this week, and love that it continues to extend after too, because it's so hard for people to to be able to put the time aside just for 1 week. So it's
I will just quickly say, like, I'm shy-ish, but I am part of the pro bono coaching, and it was with World Vision. I don't know who organized that, but I've got two that I'm coaching from that, and it's been great because they say always be coaching. So and the transition from pro bono to paying can sometimes be a little tricky because then they have to have a whole other conversation with their employer, because a lot of them were on a program that was sponsored to do the pro bono. But yeah, it's been really good. So I wanted to just thank you for that quietly. So sorry if I just kind of like bombed your meeting there, but I'm going now.
No, absolutely not. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the evening, and thanks so much.
I actually work with Arlene, and she has been inviting me to the new market, but I live in Barrie, and it's a little bit of a way to go. So I haven't been yet, but I will try and get there.
Right.
All right. Thank you guys so much. This was great. Thanks for allowing me to just listen and learn.
Thanks.
All right, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Amy and Abby, thank you so much for hosting this. It was a really inspiring event.
Oh, Barb.
Thank you, Barb.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.